So a quick video during lunch, first day of my Norway hike. As you can see, there's a patch of snow behind me. I had no idea there was still snow up here on the plateau. As you can see, it's very foggy. Wind has died down, which is nice. But it's very wet, muddy. My feet have been wet since the first 30 minutes. Climbing up the hill, it was really difficult to follow the trail in a couple of spots, mainly because previous hikers had taken detours around mud holes and stuff. But now that I'm up above the tree line, and the trail is much easier to follow, although still muddy in many spots.
These little settlements of huts are quite remote, to say the least. I wonder how they get the building materials in. Do they pack them in by horse or bring them in by snowmobile in the winter? And then how do they bring their supplies in when they stay here? This doesn't look like the sturdiest, most stable bridge in the world, but I guess it's the way across this little river here. Just your basic waterfall in the backyard.
So I've been walking for about 3 hours now. I haven't seen a single spot that's level and dry that I could set up my tent on, so that's a little worrisome. No sign of reindeer, but I did see a small herd of sheep back by the hut about an hour ago.
Now this is a bridge. Iron girders, 2x4 going across, 1x6 planking. Looks pretty damn sturdy. Probably not a good idea to take this video on the bridge. It's vibrating quite significantly.
This isn't right. It's 9:57. It's still as light out as it was 6 hours ago. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Good night. So I've been hiking for about an hour. Found a great place to camp yesterday. Grassy, flat, dry. Had a good night's sleep. Today's hike is mainly on the level. The entire day is between 1,100 and 1,200 meters, where contrast to yesterday, where I was up and down 300, 400 meter climbs and descents. And it's much drier here. I haven't really encountered any wet spots or bogs I have to navigate around, so hopefully my feet will stay dry today, although my shoes are still drying out, and be able to make some good time.
Beautiful tundra flowers. Occasionally you see one that looks like a dandelion. So for the past kilometer and a half, I've had to watch very carefully where I'm stepping on the trail because it's strewn with fresh and old sheep droppings. Presumably these are the culprits. is fascinating. This water comes over this hard rock ledge and then goes down. You'd almost think this is a man-made channel, so straight and narrow, but it must have been a natural break in the rock. So last night on the trail, just hiking up, hopefully to get to the top of this ridge and then find some flat ground like I did last night, hopefully grassy like this area here, and bunk down for my last night of hiking in Norway.
So got off to an early start today, at least for me. Doubtful I can make the early ferry from Kinsarvik, but I should get there in plenty of time for the second and last ferry. Rained pretty good last night. The tent is soaking wet and heavy, but I didn't get wet inside the tent. I had a snack bar to get started this morning, and I'll mix up my granola and freeze-dried strawberries, which were delicious, at the first rest stop.
Presumably somewhere down there is one of the 4 large waterfalls. I was hoping to videotape on my way out to Kinsarvik. Big waterfall number 1 on the way to Kinsarvik.
So walking down the road to Kinsarvik, saw the big 4 waterfalls and videotaped them on the trail down today. Had a great trip. I never anticipated that the toughest navigation challenge of the trip here would be finding my way through the streets of Kinsarvik. So I'm sitting in the park here next to the ferry in Kinsarvik, drying out my tent, having the last 2 pieces of food I have, so I guess I planned the food exactly to last through lunch today. So hopefully I will get to my hotel and they will have a lovely dinner waiting for me there in John Dow.